Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today in front of us, we've got a type of set that we don't normally have here in the studio. Sorry if that's a little loud for you, but yeah, the Liebherr R9800. It's a replica model, Technic obviously. It is set number 42100. Sorry, I'm looking down at the controls and talking at the same time. Sells for $449.99 in the States, and this was sent to us from the Lego group to do a review. And I gotta say, you know, for somebody who doesn't, I guess, play around too much with Technic, not very often at least, it's really nice to see like the advancements, you know, like I haven't played around too much with the app stuff. I've only really just started playing around with things like Hidden Side, and it's kind of interesting to see just how far things have come in terms of technology and advancement and the whole deal. So I'm going to be getting into, let's say, functions first, because that's a lot of fun, and then probably move on to how the app works, because kind of fascinated as to how user-friendly it generally is, and then from there I guess we can play around and talk about the form of this model, though I feel like you're getting a pretty good idea, pretty good impression of how this thing comes off in real life, which is it's a massive beast, and everyone should shudder before it, basically. Alright, so let's get into the functions. I guess I don't really need to change the camera angle. Obviously you can roll forward and backward and then turn the body by having the treads go the opposite direction. And I guess I'll show you just how this is the baseline control panel here. So this is what activates the treads, as you might be able to guess there. And then moving forward, or sorry, let's move him backwards. We've got the main arm, we've got the main body that can pivot back and forth, and then the arm, that's sort of the middle joint that can move up and down. This is the baseline pattern, I suppose, or series of things that you can move around. This is the base of the arm that can move up, so you can play with both of them at the same time if you want, right? So the model can kind of do the double action there. And then this is the actual scooping function. So it's pretty straightforward, right? And you can access all of these, I would say, very quickly, and it's pretty easy to get an idea of how to move this thing. There we go. So yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with it, and the basic idea of the functions is, I mean, I could show it sort of simultaneously, but this would turn it... Sorry, that was somebody messaging me, but right, you can turn everything side to side, pretty easy, and then this one, the vertical strip takes it up, takes it back down, ooh, and then there is a different type of setting, like this. So here you can see the image of the arm, and it's in the same position as what you see here, same position, and then check this out. And then before it even gets there, how about I grab it by this function? That's pretty incredible. I'm really happy with the way this function works. And then I believe this one. Oh no. So as you can see, it moves up and down and all around the arm, completely takes control, and you can put it into any position that you like. It actually has the ability to calibrate itself. You can choose to calibrate it at any time in case it sort of starts bumping into itself. I guess that's a good way to describe it. It does it on its own, which is great. So the model can actually figure out exactly where it is. It figures out its high point, and then it'll click. Does it again. There we go. So it knows exactly where it is at all times. It's a really genius idea, and you can calibrate it at any time. This isn't just like a one-time setup, though I highly recommend you set it up in the very beginning. Righto, so that's pretty awesome. And then there's another feature here. I guess I'm just going through the app. This is the main driving feature, which I like. Progress? What? No, I don't care about progress. Okay, so you can see these two dials here. That's an actual equilibrium. Ooh, I should probably grab it by the main base of the body. But can you see that? This thing knows when it's being tilted side to side and forward and back. You can actually see the equilibrium, and it will let you know. It'll give you sort of a warning note if you tilt it way too far forward or way too far back. Ready? There you go. Warning, right? It's really, really sophisticated stuff. Things that I honestly just didn't know the apps could do. All right, real quick, I'm recording this in the editing lab later. I kind of go into all the different features a bit in this part. There is a similar interface as what you might have seen from the Boost app, where you can link several different commands back to back and have them automated on your basic command screen. And there's also other types of challenges built into the app as well. Outside of that, there's a few things that you can customize, and in general, for someone who does not use a lot of the more advanced electronic features, I felt like I was getting everything I personally would want out of a set like this. For the most part, I just like having a big old remote control scooper excavator, though I do get the feeling that if you are really into the Mindstorm stuff and have a bit more of a background in these types of technical builds, you may want to have slightly different or more controls over the customization of the app. Personally, I think this is a pretty good way to go about having a remote control large vehicle with lots of functions, and I'll get a little bit more into the setup of the app right at the end of the video. And now this will be kind of fun. Technically, I haven't opened up the last bag, and the last bag is of course just some debris pieces. I'd say there's maybe 40 or so of these 2x2 round cylinders, and I'm going to pour them out. I'm just kind of curious to see how well this can scoop without any other things sort of keeping it in place. This was kind of a disappointing function when it was the bucket wheel excavator. The bucket wheel excavator was a bit of a weak build, I thought, or at least discovered after the fact. Let's get you a little bit closer, and this is me testing this out for the first time. I honestly don't know how well this is going to go. There we go. Let's get him into more of a scooping position. Ooh, not bad. Okay, okay. Come on. He was scraping the ground so hard, he almost kind of lifted himself up a little bit. Oh! I picked up exactly one. What I was testing for was strength. Because I don't know if you guys ever messed around with the bucket wheel excavator. We have a video on that. But it was actually quite a weak model. This has two giant battery packs, two very large 6 battery packs, which I think is double of what the larger Technic model, the excavator, had. Actually, let me go back to this. But you could see that everything here is pretty darn strong. Will that do it? There we go. All right, and here I've got our dots drawer. I just wanted to see, because now they're in a contained area, and you've got a pretty good layer of very small loose pieces. Not bad, not bad. All right, that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna practice one more time. Yeah, that's a much better angle. There we go. All right, let's move the camera closer so you guys can see just how many dots got in there. This scoop was not helped by any other people. So that's pretty impressive. Woo, that light keeps breaking. The light broke, okay. Anyways, that's pretty darn impressive. Let me move this back. So I have to say, the dot challenge, or any Lego brick challenge, this thing's actually very, very strong. Even with the calibration and everything, you can actually dip the arm lower than the actual level of the body here, which can lift the entire creation off the ground a little bit. Let me just show you that one more time. And I think that is how a lot of these vehicles work in real life. So look at that. You can see it actually pushes down just a little bit. It's not like it's going to be able to lift itself off the ground, but you can see that it bowed the body backwards. So there's a lot of strength in those pneumatic pieces there. And it makes for an extremely, extremely powerful function. All right, now so far I've been focusing just on the functions because I feel like that's just kind of the most fun and drawing feature of the set, at least initially. But now taking a closer look at this model, I mean, they really, really, really went all out with all the different detailing that you can see all over this giant beast of a build. I love these series of pneumatic tubes. This is the proper use of the word pneumatic. And also something I noticed when I was hanging out here in the studio, we've got an old Technic figure, and this guy seems to be scaled. Okay, he's a little bit upscaled, it feels like, but he almost fits in pretty well there. So the giant excavator this is normally the cab right there, where the actual figure would be able to hang out. And I don't know, let's just go around in a circle and you can kind of see some of the closer details. Here's another little interactive feature here where you can take the ladder, or the stairs really. It's not even a ladder, but it's a series of stair pieces that you can use to walk up the back there. It's a nice little function. This little bit is, it just can pivot on one little pin there, and then it can lock the ladder in place. So that's kind of a fun little function. There's lots of containers here in the back, quite a few of them actually being brick built, a lot of the detailing, which is fun. A little bit of brick building here. That's pretty much most of the Lego bricks that you're going to see in this build. I don't think tread pieces technically count as Lego bricks. And then of course you do have some brick and plate detailing, tile detailing along the side with those grill pieces. But for the most part, a lot of this detailing is stickers and prints, mostly stickers. And then this is kind of a fun one if I can get the proper angle on it. This is a series of sticker pieces put onto some windows though, but probably my favorite bit of detailing. Those are those grates, the metal mesh grate that you would be walking on if you were on this part of the excavator in real life. The arm moves all the way up. You can see the much, much larger and very elegant form of different pneumatic tubing. This is where a lot of the power would actually be being fed in real life. And yeah, there we go. Let's get it from the back. Here you just have a slightly better look at some of the detailing here. This is all sticker detailing there, as well as the main bit of detailing, the 9800. All right, so here's some of the detailing from the front. You can see a lot of the pistons sort of laid in deeper on the inside of the excavator here. And it may look intimidating. I just feel like moving it around with my hands just so you can see sort of the handling of this set. It may look intimidating from its size, and it is a relatively complex build. But what's interesting is my wife built it, and she's never actually built a Technic set ever. This is her very first one. And I don't think she had too much of a problem putting it together. I mean, obviously it's huge, so it took a couple of days really to tackle it and really get the whole thing down. But that's pretty awesome, and I think pretty encouraging as well. So what you're looking at here was built by somebody who had never actually played around or built any Technic before. So pretty cool, right? And I will say also in the beginning when we were setting this up, we're having a little bit of trouble with the app getting it to connect. And at first we thought it was a problem with the app, and then we realized there was just like two tiny little cords that were not switched around to the proper colors. And so at first I thought it was the app. I saw a lot of negative reviews online about how the thing wasn't connecting properly. And I was about to agree with a lot of those people online until I realized what we were doing wrong. So I feel kind of bad because something tells me that a lot of people thought that the app was having weird connectivity issues. But my guess is that they're just having issues just with the internal wiring. But it's actually set up pretty well. The color coding on the inside is really nice. There's a few, I think, relatively new pieces as well used to let you color code and look at the interior very, very, very simply. I would say it was really easy to fix. And it's just such a nice looking model from the side. So anyways, guys, I had a really fun time kind of playing around. I was mostly just playing with this set. It's kind of a looser review form. But I feel like that is just sort of the more comfortable way for me to approach something Technic that I don't necessarily play around with quite as often as regular Lego system bricks. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Personally, I'm really happy. I feel like this is very much sort of an evolution in a lot of ways to older Technic sets. I mean, the bucket wheel excavator feels so far away now that we have something like this. I really feel like this is so many levels ahead of what Technic sets used to be just a couple of years ago. So let me know what you guys think about this though in the comments below, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.